Hi, I'm Catto, and I'm not really interested in politics, but yesterday I wrote something after I felt I'd had this big revelation, and I posted it and it had quite a crazy response, and I'm just feeling a big wave of energy about sharing it with everyone, so kindly my friend Tom has come over to film me so we can turn it into a clip. The current power and money system doesn't work. It's almost banal to say that it's destroying the planet. It's just like totally stating the obvious. And even if we accept that some people are going to be financially richer than others, the current gap between the rich and the poor and all the wealth and resources being held by such a tiny amount of people has kind of proved that this system does not work. It's out of control. It hasn't created a good standard of living for all. It's destroying our one planet. The children are poorly educated, the elders are not cared for, and our addiction to this money lifestyle makes us all turn a blind eye to what our governments are doing and being involved with in horrific atrocities in loads of countries we've never even heard of. The second thing is, to me, the current way we treat animals and the planet is utterly barbaric. The food industry's treatment of millions and millions of feeling cows, pigs, chickens, fish. Kurt Cobain said that fish don't have any feelings, but I'm not so certain. Numerous other animals in factory farms in this country is totally unacceptable. Linda McCartney said that if abattoirs had glass walls, we would all be vegetarians, and I love that. And it's another thing we collectively turn a blind eye to. Maybe future generations are going to be dismayed that at this late date in 2015, with all our knowledge and consciousness, that we could even consider allowing the animals to be treated in this way. It's dark. They do feel pain and fear. And the fact that we even allow the high street cosmetics that we often buy to be tested on animals, and they're like sort of having stuff put in their eyes and itching, it's horrific. And the only way we can be okay with that is if we just look away. And thirdly, the level of corruption and sociopathic partnership between our governments and the corporate world is frightening. And no amount of marching in the streets or protests or signing petitions has really seemed to shift it that much. So I had this revelation, like an overnight solution to all this, that none of these agents of greed would ever see coming. And that is to vote Green. Because the crazily corrupt governments of the Conservative and the Labour would be gone in just like one 24-hour act of solidarity. If everyone who's been going on marches and protesting and signing petitions, or even just watching and agreeing from the sidelines, collectively decided to vote Green next week, we could solve the impossible problem of this entrenched corruption in one glorious, victorious sweep. The thing is, the corporations have not considered the Green Party worth buying yet. They've been too insignificant a player to bother with. It could be the most genius David and Goliath moment in modern history, unforeseen by the immoral powers that be, for all of us who are so sick of the current death-peddling power structures, who feel disempowered by how entrenched the corruption is, as if it's just beyond changing because they own the media, they own the army, they're all so advanced in the monopoly of resources. For one killer blow to be struck simply, peacefully, within the system's rules, just by voting Green next week, everyone together, they're gone. It would just be genius, and they wouldn't see it coming, and we could just laugh our tits off. The other two parties have convinced everyone in the incorrect paradigm that a vote for Green is a vote wasted. It's only important to make sure Conservative don't get in, so we vote Labour. But Labour have proved themselves to be almost as bad, still perpetuating the country's enslavement to ideas of money, numbers changing on screens, percentages announced by banks. They've proved themselves to be no less corporate slaves than the Tories, really, as far as I can see. They did little or nothing to address any of these issues when they were in power. Nothing changed really, they were just feathering their own nests. There was all this stuff about their spin doctors. They were just creepy, I thought. The Green Party are not entrenched in that world. They were never invited to be part of this whole corporate thing because no one took them seriously. It's like a blessing in disguise that they were so small that they could just like slip in under the radar and we could all just sort it in one vote. They've never been taken seriously, and whatever else their policies are, the possibility of doing this just feels too compelling for me to ignore. Maybe some of the other Green policies aren't exactly what we want, but that could be adjusted and worked with for the bigger prize, I feel. The Green government can only be better than what we have by miles and miles. The prize of ousting the current murderous, warmongering, arrogant thieves is too precious not to vote Green. And And that is why I'm voting Green next week and urging everyone to do the same. Not because I absolutely love the Green Party and think they're it, but the difference that it could make to this country, having a party that actually really cares about the environment, even if not all their policies are perfect, and getting rid of all that total corporate enslavement feels just like too incredible an opportunity to miss. It's great to go on marches, it's great to protest, it's great to sign petitions, but it just hasn't fully done the job. This is a simple, peaceful means by, with solidarity, everyone can turn up together, simply put a cross on a bit of paper, and the job is done. We have the power to do it. In 1 week from today, they could be gone.